from happening again.
Fox News alert for you now. Thousands of women staging rallies and walkouts across the country for the controversial A Day Without a Woman protest, including here in New York City. House Democrats also planning to walk off the floor anytime now in D.C. to show their support. One teacher in Philadelphia says it's about demonstrating the values of women in society.
I think this is a big year for us women, and we need to prove that we are a big part of this economy and we're a big part of our nation. So I'm glad that we could stand together today and speak on behalf of that.
But not everybody is on board with the idea of a one-day walkout. Some parents scrambling after several school districts had to cancel classes because so many teachers called out.
I'm appalled that they just made a decision because people don't have the luxury like me and my family to have someone at home with the kids. Some people are working 2 and 3 jobs. Some people don't have the resources to hire a babysitter.
The organized protest coinciding with International Women's Day, which President Trump tweeted about this morning, saying, quote, "I have tremendous respect for women and the many roles they serve that are vital to the fabric of our society and our economy." Megan, we were talking about it in the makeup room, and you said, who has the luxury of not coming to work? Like, I got to come to work.
This is all over social media, and I actually have a lot to say on this. The first and foremost is, in my life, I actually live by the adage that 80% of success in life is showing up, and I show my value here at work by showing up every day. I am very proud that I work on a show where the female voice is the dominant voice every single day on this network, and we tackle very hard, substantive news every single day. We don't do cooking segments on this show. I'm very proud. That is how I show that I am a strong woman. I don't know how I'm showing my value by not showing up. That being said, I have said over and over again, I have a very hard time relating to the modern day feminist movement because for me it's so tied up with being anti-Trump and being pro-choice, 2 things that I am not. Going forth on that, as that gentleman just said earlier, I think it's a luxury of women who are wealthy and do well, where you can take a day off from work. You apparently have childcare at home. That gentleman just said, I can't take a day off from work. My kids are going to be at home alone. So I do have a problem with this. And by the way, if you want to be like me, you can use the hashtag #WeShowUp, hashtag #NotMyProtest, which I have done today on social media.
There you go. Wow.
I
bring it
so much
of that,
but I want to respond to this. We talked about it yesterday on the couch, and I also kind of made the point of what about the people that can't afford it? And kind of this elitism element, I think, that we're kind of whispering or talking loudly about, even in the case of Megan. I want to read this. This is a direct response to that, and this is from one of the co-chair of the Women's March movement. Her name is Tamika Mallory. "When you say strikes are for privileged people, that tells me you have not studied history. It has always been the people who are least comfortable that have made the greatest impact when they have decided they are willing to take that extra step in order to protect their lives and fight back against the system." And I'll say this. We can disagree around that on this couch, but I think it's a worthwhile perspective to put out there because historically that is true. Historically, we know that the civil rights movement and gay rights movement and other LGBT, whatever things, haven't always been led by just the elite.
I want to jump in and I want to show these ladies in red, which wearing red today is another form of this Day Without a Woman strike that is underway. And you're looking at House Democrats. As we had mentioned, they were expected to walk out in a show of support for this movement or this protest, and they are doing so right now. Melissa, I noticed you were wearing red. Are you trying to tell us anything?
You know, I'm wearing red, and I also showed up for work. How about that? Having it both ways. That's right, absolutely. Now, I heard you laughing during the introduction here.
Okay.
Be very careful, my friend.
I'm a week away from sensitivity training, so
I already took mine.
Yeah, I wish I could have choked up on that a little bit. But first off, I would never be part of a show that does cooking. So I'm only kidding. We do cooking segments, but I don't love the cooking segments. Number 2. This is a tough segment for me personally.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I'm the guy. But I never looked at women in 2017 as oppressed or needing rights. I thought we're at equal footing. And I thought if you want to be president of anything, a CEO of anything, want to be a lead anchor anywhere, I thought it was may the best man or woman win.
Again, these are House Democrats, ladies wearing red.
We were wearing white a week ago.
Are any Republicans doing this as well?
Nancy Pelosi is there, and she is in attendance.
She's a Democrat.
On the steps there.
The Democrat.
It just feels very liberal to me. It feels very anti-Trump. Again, I don't see any, again, there's a lot of people in this shop, but I don't see any conservative women doing this as well. And I didn't mean to knock you with cooking segments, but we talk about very serious subjects all day on the show, and there is, for me specifically on this show, I take such pride in the fact that the voice on this show is dominantly female, when so many in cable news are not.
So,
and to me, showing up is important.
I was joking about the dress, but I don't know. I mean, I wasn't joking. I don't know why you can't have it both ways. I mean, I am wearing red, and I did show up for work today.
And you can have it both ways.
I support women, but I'm here working. I don't think
so. Notice that there are men on those steps as well, Brian.
Those are allies. I want to just share this with Brian, though, because Brian, you point out that you don't think in 2017 it's like an issue, right? I think that's a fair assessment from your kind of limited, forgive me, perspective. I want to share something with you that happened.
Stuck as a man.
Exactly. First started practicing law. Totally educated. I thought I was a very, very sharp, ambitious young attorney. I was rewarded with a high level in my firm. I found out I was paid the same as an unlicensed paralegal who was a man. And when I went to my boss, you know what he said? He's got a family to take care of.
I can't believe
he literally said that to me.
Was that legal?
Of course it wasn't legal, but he said that as an older man who felt that that was a justification for why I, as a licensed litigator, should be paid the same as an unlicensed paralegal.
I think that what we're questioning, though, is the message by asking for equal pay by not going to work.
Exactly.
Is going back to Megan's original point. I think the best thing we can do is show up, work hard.
And the moment that, quote, modern women's rights isn't tied up with Planned Parenthood and being pro-choice, then we can have a conversation. I am very pro-life. It is extremely important to me, a very big part of my life in general, and I can't get behind something that wants to fund Planned Parenthood and wants to fund abortions.